A year after Ann Jarvis promoted a festival for Mother's Day, a special day set aside, President Wilson declared it in 1914 a national holiday, a day for everybody to remember Mother's Day, a special day put aside. And so that's what we're celebrating today, is Mother's Day. This little book handed in the rectory during the week, it's entitled, "What Does My Mom Do?" And I thought, gee, that captures exactly what I want to look at. And so I went through it and saw it's written by Lisa Ott and illustrated by Gigi and the Otters. So it could be a little classic book, because inside this has got all kinds of little bits and pieces that really help us to... my question is not what mothers do, but what they don't do. They do so much that it's like they have 2 or 3 careers rolled into one. And this little book has a section here says, what my mom does is now perfectly clear. She performs some versions of every career that I know. She's a doctor, a teacher, a coach, and a chef. A lawyer, designer, driver, and REF. What's REF?
Referee.
Anyone know?
Referee, yeah.
Referee, probably. Yeah. Housekeeper, counselor, singer, and vet. A shopper, a planner, an artist, and yet. Claire's mom gardens, and each year is her show. Peppers to orchids, she makes everything grow. Could my mom find greens that are perfect to plant? Her tomatoes out front just have a slight slant. And then there's little graphics to illustrate that. So it's very fine put together. It touches my heart that she's always so many jobs that can't all be fun. So I asked her, what's the most important one? She smiled, assuring me one day I'd know. And the answer is when I have my own kids and help them to grow. And there's a few empty pages here, we could fill in the rest of it. Continue to fill in. Julia's mom paints pictures with colors all swirled. The publishing books all over the world. Could my mom draw portraits and create works of art? She turns out thumbprints to bunnies that seems like a start. Ellie's mom plans weddings for the hotels that you know. Every minute is set telling guests where to go. Could my mom organize a party of fun? She plans a big bash whenever my sister turned 1. And again, more illustrations. Just really cute. My mom travels an international spy. She's part police force and part FBI. Could my mom crack codes and be ultra covert? She can sense every time I sneak extra desserts. So we could go on and on. This little book has so much in it. Sarah's mom coaches an Olympic swim team. Winning gold was her childhood dream. Could my mom lead champs? Is that her role? She does cheer the loudest when I score a goal. Again, another little more illustration for us here. Okay. Daniel's mom sits in a courtyard each day, listening to crimes and what people say. Could my mom make laws and try to be fair? She punishes my brother when he pulls my hair. So there you go. it's the little simple things in life that make it. So it goes on and on, okay? There's a little note here from Pope Francis. Mothers are an antidote to the spread of a certain self-centeredness, a decline in openness, generosity, and concern for others. In this sense, motherhood is more than childbearing. It's a life choice entailing sacrifice, respect for life, and commitment to passing on those human and religious values that are essential for a healthy society. Pope Francis. So between this little book and our own thoughts and reflections on our own mothers, my mother was an extraordinary person, really. She was the only woman I remember driving in Dublin at the time. There was no women were not allowed to drive, or for some reason they weren't just driving. It might be just a reason for it, I don't know. It might have been a chauvinist kind of attitude. Women were not allowed to drive. And so then she opened a little business, something very, very similar to what her brother had in Glasgow in Scotland. It was before supermarkets it was a fish, fruit, poultry, vegetables, everything that you needed except the meat. You could get it in that, so it was like a farmer's market. And then she opened up 2 more stores, so it was like put them all together. It was very, very busy, and she was trying to run 3 shops at the same time. I don't know how she did it, but then my older brother took over the business when she died at age 49 years of age, very young, and almost half my age. So here we go, and she was a Scotch Presbyterian, and she has two sons of 3, 2 became priests. Well, we can't figure that out at all. This is like, but it probably was, when she went to heaven at an early age, probably says, what do you want for those 2 sons of yours, or 3? And she probably requested that we'd be, go to foreign countries. My brother went to Africa and I came to America. Not was by any choice, but we were assigned those positions. Anyhow, looking back in our lives, it's been just wonderful. And I can't wait to see my mom again so many years down the road, I hope. And thank her for all the times I didn't get an opportunity to do that. So motherhood it's a woman's a collaboration in the midst of man's solitude, a collaborator in his work and helping him in his business. And so they're very industrious, and I think it's only appropriate that we set aside 1 day of the year for mothers. It's not 1 day of the year, we should have it 365 days a year, because it's an ongoing every day. There's no let up. It's around the clock, looking after kids and taking care of them. And just about the time you think that you take things easy, they're off to school, and that's expensive. And so there's a collaboration against being rich as a mother, because you have all these commitments, and especially with the children and the grandchildren then. So it's as the Pope says in his letter there, his little note to us, that it's a lifelong job, and it's every day. It's not 7 days a week. It's 27 days a week, if there's such a thing. So I can see it, because you come home from work, or you do another job. You got to cook dinner, and then you've got to get ready for the next day and get the kids ready for school, and get them up first thing in the morning before you go to work. So it's 3 jobs in one, I think. So happy Mother's Day. Okay.